And now it's time for another exciting adventure of Blue Water Sailing Man. Da-da-da-da! This is the story of a boy who in his teens started selling sunfish. In his 30s, he sailed with a friend on his Catalina 27. In his 40s, he bought a Hobie 16, which he sailed every year at the beach for a week. Also in his 40s, he bought a Catalina 27, followed by a Morgan Out Island 41. He sailed the Morgan Out Island for more than 16,000 miles until his 60s when he sold it. He then bought a Hobie 21 SE, which kept him happy for a while, but then he bought a Beneteau 50.4, which he started sailing. And he's sailing it by himself, so sailing solo at 70 is me, David Fansler. Only now I'm 71. Oops, make that 72. Wrong again, I'm now 73. It's February 14th, and I am ready to head to the British Virgin Islands. So we've got the car packed as you see here, and also in this picture, I'm taking everything but the kitchen sink with me. The next morning was absolutely beautiful. Engine is in gear. And we are pulling away from the dock. Next stop, 1,300 miles, Tortola, British Virgin Islands. All three. There it goes. Goodbye, Washington waterfront. Cockpit. Yep, didn't mean to do that. Cockpit is still a bit of a mess. I've got all my water up here still. I didn't have the energy to take it down yesterday. And my ROV is up here still. Let's see. There it is. It's my underwater drone that I have been building for several years and hope to use it while I'm in the BVIs. It's a beautiful morning. The sun's just coming up. You gotta head through the railroad bridge and on down the Pamlico River. Well, it's 8:03 in the morning. I've been underway for an hour and 2 minutes. Covered about 4 nautical miles. The wind is non-existent. So I'm motoring at about 1,500 RPMs to conserve fuel, which gives me a speed of about 4 knots with all the barnacles on the bottom of the boat. Scrape them off when I get down to the BVIs, and when I come back I'll go into McCotter's Marina and get a fresh bottom job, and that'll last us for a couple of more years. It's a beautiful day. It's cool. It's in the mid-30s. The cockpit I have been working on, and all the joints in it, if you will, between the different panels are now zippered together. So that really makes a big difference in how much air can flow through the cockpit while I'm traveling.
Um, well, let me show you a little bit of it. Let's see. Well, I can't show it from here. I'll do a video of it later. I'm too lazy to get up at this point. I'm still putzing down the Pamlico River, and I'll check back in later. Well, it's 4:42 on the 15th of February, and it's been what, 7, that would be 1, another 3, that's 10 hours of under motor, and we finally have got the Genoa out. Yay! As noted in the beginning of the videos on moving, it was in the 30s. I don't think it got much but into the 40s all during the day. By the end of that day, I was starting to get cold. At the end of the second day, I had reached Oregon Inlet, which is the only inlet in the Outer Banks that I can get in and out of, and I was really cold. In fact, I felt like I was starting to come down with hypothermia. So I turned the boat around and the next morning headed back to port. It took another 2 days to get back to port. Mary picked me up the following day. And once I got home, it took me 3 days to quit shivering. I was so cold. And sure enough, I did suffer some hypothermia. I thought I had enough clothes to stay warm in the cold weather, but obviously I was wrong. So I abandoned the idea of going to the BVIs for this year. Next year there will be a diesel heater on the boat that I can stay warm down below with. So rather than ending it with just 7 minutes or so of video, I thought I would catch you up on things that have been going on since the last video of when I returned from Baltimore. Mary, my wife, celebrated her 70th birthday, and it was quite an event. Then I changed out the two 300-watt solar panels for two 450-watt solar panels, giving me an estimated 900 watts of solar power. I built an aluminum frame, welded it together, and bolted the solar panels to it. I actually tested the solar panels while they were upside down in this picture, and they were putting out a significant amount of power upside down, facing the ground, not the sun. Summer hasn't arrived yet since I've installed the solar panels on the boat, but doing some checking with the Victron controller that we use to recharge the main batteries in the boat, one day we're getting 841 watts, which is only 59 watts less than what the panels are rated at, which is absolutely phenomenal. So these are putting out a large amount of power, and that's really great. I stated that I was going to show you some of the work I had done, and here's a picture of the back panel. You've probably seen the side panels before. They're actually the same panels that I built when I was crossing the Atlantic. The only difference is now I've put some stray glass into the panels, and I added the back panel and put some stray glass in that, and it's a zippered door on the back. So it provides a very nice enclosed cockpit. I had a little bit of stray glass left over that I found after a few weeks, and so I incorporated that into the top of the bimini, giving me a skylight, but more importantly, it gives me a window so I can see what the sails are doing. So that's worked out nicely as well. There really isn't a whole lot more. I've been working on the refrigeration some. It was problematic when I got the boat. I'm also added some hot water capture capabilities. After the solar panels, there's a piece of corrugated steel that's painted black and has copper tubes soldered to it. And the idea is that it will create hot water when I'm in the BVIs so that I don't have to run the engine to create hot water because I'm not going to be at dock any, so I won't have any electricity to generate hot water. I added a washing machine up in the forward compartment. It washes, it does a real strong job of spinning dry, so the clothes come out almost dry. This will be a great help when I finally make it to the BVIs. I can't think of much more. The boat's going to be down in North Carolina for a while. So we're planning some trips to Ocracoke and around. I think the next trip I take will be down the river a little bit to McCotter's, 1st of May to have the bottom done. I'll be doing that work. And somewhere later in May or maybe in June, I plan on taking the boat down to Morehead City, where it's close to where my orthopedic surgeon has a house, and I have been promising him that I would take he and his family out sailing for a day. Outside of that, June also brings my mother's 100th birthday. She is still kicking and doing well. Uh, she is in an assisted living facility. She does use a walker to walk with, but nevertheless, she will be 100 years old on June 6th. So that's it for now. I'll catch up with you later. And this has been David Fansler with Sailing Solo at 70. Have a good day.